Mientras te enseña, sé que tú tienes a otro. Y a ti te dice, paquito, 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 paquito. Everybody go, everybody go.
Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday only on Nice Radio. Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday only on Nice Radio.
There's a conspiracy going on here in this country. What a sad moment for we. They're trying to take rights and justice from we. I believe that wouldn't happen. We must take a stand and unite as one. And no matter what, for rights we have to fight back. I say we go fight for justice. We want we rights. Nobody can take away freedom. We want we rights. Yes, we walking and we talking. So we marching.
Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday only on Nice Radio.
This is an SOS from the Trinidad. Location 7 miles off the coast of Venezuela. SOS, SOS, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Help. Help. The Trinidad, a luxury liner, sailing the Caribbean Sea with an old captain named Eric Williams. But yes, sail smooth and free. But sadly, Eric Williams passed away. The ship hit rough water that day. Someone turned the bridge over to a captain named Chambers. My blood crawl, things start to fall. Hold me head when I sail a fall. Captain, this ship is sinking. Captain, the seas are rough. Oh yes, We gas tank almost empty, no electricity. We oil pressure reading low. Shall we abandon ship or shall we stay on it and perish slow? We don't know, we don't know. Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa. Trinidad, oh, she was a beauty with wealth that few surpassed. And in her day, she sailed majestically.
From the 1st of August, the VAT removal on 70 items commence. And again, I want to express my thanks and appreciation to the Chamber of Commerce for their cooperation in this venture. We've been having discussions with them for a long while, and effective the 1st of August, we expect them no VAT on 70 items, including goods that came from the exempt to the zero rated.
Very slow, we don't know, Captain, you tell me what to do. Whoa, whoa.
Let's real and come again. Tell the people of this country what is truly happening with the port project. Tell us. We are not begging you to tell us. You have a responsibility to explain. We do not believe anything you say. Everything is a joke for you. Everything is a joke for you because your whole life has been made easy in every respect. The money you are spending is not yours or your father's. We and our children yet unborn have to pay for it. Your responsibility is to account for it, and we will hold you to account, and that is what is burning you. Just like how you say that the project manager is not going to leave until the end of the project when he's already resigned and is due to go to another job at the end of this month. That you know, but you come here and lie. Tell the untruth, Madam Speaker. How can we trust you?
Captain, you tell me what to do.
Good night, St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is now for Keeping It Real. You know, every Friday, around this time, it's a program called Keeping It Real. It's Friday, the 8th of August, the 8th of the 8th month, 2025. And wheresoever you may be at this present moment, whichever water hole you are in, taking in your little water to relax yourself after a stressful week, every crab hole, dog hole, fox hole, every nook and cranny, and whatsoever medium you are using to get this program, Keeping It Real is on the air. And as the saying is, and as the saying goes, there is never ever a dull moment in St. Vincent Grenadines. There's always something taking place, something of interest, something to draw your attention, your emotion, or what taking place. So, exhale all of the bad enzyme, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and all the oxide that are not good for your health, and take a deep inhalation of oxygen that can make your system clear and precise and ready for this program. And remember, it's an interactive program. So when the lines are open, all we ask you to do is to be honest, truthful, nothing libelous, nothing scandalous, nothing ridiculous, and participate If you want to talk or if you want to interact with us, the choice is yours. But all we ask you to do is keep it clean. Because keeping it real is on the air. It's not about mockery, hilarious fun. It's about enlightening, informing, and educating you on the issues that is impacting, whether it be local, regional, international. Keeping it real is on the air. Well, I was tuned to the airwaves for the majority of the week, from one station to the other, and taking in a bit of what was flying to the medium of the air, especially radio. And I listened to the Prime Minister. He says he's getting ready to put on his champion belt for the big champion match that is coming up very soon. And I listened to a number of rumbling and rambling that carried on the airwaves. And I said to myself, this man is a demigod. Because by the sound of it, it seems as if he is in control of what takes place and not a higher being that could just snap us off just like that. So he fears nothing. And every human being, animal, or what has to bow and be benevolent unto him. So I said, wow. And it came to me, the Calypso Cuckoo, and the song that he sang. I think he had one with that song. It's amazing how people have changed. And the reason why that came to me, he was talking about leadership. And he mentioned about how he has another book to release pretty soon before probably the end of the year and before the election or what. About leadership and things in the Caribbean, about Caribbean leaders and politics. And he went on and then he mentioned about borrowing money to complete the tasks of the road and burial and the volcano, because there's still a number of houses that are unfinished and we need to get road done. And a whole set of things along that line. And I recall when they came in 2001, we had impact of some storm on the country. And for the lifetime of this government, they have benefited immensely from disasters in one form or the other. And from since then, we have been getting funding, whether it be grant, loan, or whatever, to keep on repeating the same thing that he has gone to Parliament again now for. Barring from one project to the other. Because it was first the airport, and they stretched that out for almost 3 terms. I think it started around 2007, around there, and then completed until 2017. So, and they have been promising us better housing, better roads, and it goes on along that line. And even talking about leadership. But all I have seen, yes, we got the airport, and up to now, we can't get the true cost. And there's a number of issues still with the airport. And the latest one I'm hearing is that they're going to be expanding on the airport. But they haven't come to the public with that as yet. Then there's presently the port, although I'm hearing that all they were forewarned about the situation and that where they went and put the port was probably one of the most dangerous parts of the inlet of Kingston, because there are some serious ground tide that during certain time of the year that act up down there. That even the fishermen that used to dock there sometimes had to run from dock in the air when it's the ground tides start operating. So it's no wonder that we are having problem presently based on the history of that area. And I think sometimes we make the biggest mistake by not researching enough before we go forward with certain plans. And nature has a way of giving us a rude awakening. And had he probably talked to some old folks in that area, they would have reminded him the situation with Hurricane Janet and all these other storms that impacted Kingston especially. And the problem they had and what they had to do when they were building the Kingston port, the one that is still in operation right now. But that is water under the bridge. So that has gone. But let me get back to the situation where you have gone to Parliament and you're saying this has nothing to do with politics. But I am here to debunk that based on my experience and knowledge and trend of this ULP government. Your aim and motto is about project that does not make life better for the masses on a whole. And I think when we give you the job, the emphasis was to make life, living, and livelihood better overall for us. Not to divide this country along the line that it has been divided. Not to victimize people. To give who deserve the job and qualify for the job the necessary position. The civil service is in shambles. A lot of the statutory bodies, likewise. And we are stagnant. You may brag and boast about education revolution and how much degrees, how much persons that have. But essentially have a degree, or you have a master's, or you have a PhD. And when it comes to practicability, all you know is theory, but the practical implementation is the action, the word journalistic, the action. Let us analyze education. Because you say we have an education revolution, and we have more qualified teachers. So therefore, if we have more qualified teachers, then the end result is supposed to be more children, students performing at a higher level. Okay? But yet still, we are lacking in numeracy and literacy, because you have students going through the secondary level and can't read proper. They cannot decipher algebra and those sorts of aspects. At least some don't even attempt going for the subject of mathematics. But yet, we are boasting of an education revolution. So we are dealing with numbers. So we have more children going to secondary school. But a lot of these children are frustrated because left to them alone, you will not go. And the tech work and the skills that we should have been pushing were left to dwindle. Now, we are start playing catch up. We were once known in the Caribbean for have some of the best carpenter, mason, joinery persons, carpentry, craftsmen. I can't tell when last I went somewhere and see somebody, a young person, with a chisel and hammer, and see there and been making craft. And that's just something of the 70s and 80s, probably the early 90s. And that part of the culture went back into carnival costume making and all that. Because you found those persons gravitating to the mass tent and so on. So no wonder now, everything is already made. We have lost those skills and we have to, most of the costume are come wholesale from overseas, feathers and everything in one. No wonder you would take silver foil off those paper and you cut and make your own green feather and your red feather and whatever. That takes too long now. So the dexterity that the youth used to have, it's no longer. Yet, we do have an education revolution. So, we expect productivity should be at a higher level. When you check it out, it is not. And we're having people feel happy taking up a piece of old cutlass and a piece of stick, in the by the roadside until they cleaning the road. Even back then, when our elders were doing that aspect, they had pride in doing it. They were doing it with a purpose of what they were about. And it was done far better than it is being done now. But this is only being used to abuse workers on a whole. And I would say that without a doubt. And I'm wondering if the minimum wage that has been put in place, that these workers would come under, if they are entitled to one, the $50 a day minimum wage, and the extra $8 because they are doing hazardous work. Because they're using cutlass and those sort of things. Therefore, they go out of the muck out of the gutter and all that. And they are exposed to areas where dog filth, rodents, and other things are defecating, and they have no mask and just so because why? It's a hustle. But we ain't thinking about the health of these workers. And he had put in place occupational health and safety bill without any regulation to ensure that when workers are doing this work, whether for private or government, they have a standard that they have to adhere to. And not because of a need and a hustle, you expose them to the world. So even though they're going to get the money, they may carry home a disease. But we're not thinking about it. We will come and thump with chest. Oh, you have thousands of people working for millions of dollars for the road work to go back to school or for the Christmas. But at the end of the day, what is the true result? Exploitation to the police. Workers should be allowed to enjoy the work that they are doing because you will get more out of them. And they should be working in a safe environment. Pastor group this morning, some have on slippers, some have on Crocs, some have on, and they did down inside a gutter with dirty water and all sorts of things. But it is of no interest whether they get wrong nature or whatever. The whole thing is that they are hustling. Forget a penny to suffice their basic needs in terms of getting books or whatever, or food on the table in the next 2 weeks or so. And then it's gone. And then the next time, it will be probably for Christmas. Instead of we set up a proper plan where we could have a group that could cut and manicure the verges of the roads and other things on a regular basis, instead of this 8 days every 3 months or every quarter. And if it's every quarter, 4, 8 to 32. So 32 working days in a year. When I could recall, as a young man growing up, a young child growing up, coming into a teenage and then into a man, that the workers with public works used to be talking about their 100 days and look forward for the 100 days at the end of the year. Because why? It was a regular thing. Not this, what we have taken place and exploiting workers on the whole. I got a complaint from some workers on the port, and they saying they don't want to be represented by no union who are not defending them and looking out for their interests. They say they no longer is entitled to 7 payments and all this sort of thing because that's no more. They had a pension plan that was put in place and they have lost the money. And the Clico Baiko situation, some people have died, some people has migrated, and some people are there could hardly make ends meet. Now in the latter part of their life, after them put in the years of service. So instead of you enhance workers' benefit, as you claim to say that you are workers' government, workers' government, it hasn't happened. And as I had mentioned the last 2 weeks, you boasted on your record of increasing minimum wage. So you came in in 2001 and the minimum wage was $25. But there was no VAT. NIS was around $7. And the general food stuff was fairly okay. Inflation was going around 5%. But 25 years down the road, 24 years, 25 years down the road, the minimum wage has increased, say, 100%. So it's now $50. Although not all workers get the $50 because some workers are still around the line. I think some maybe some domestic and other areas are still around $40 and not the $50. And NIS is now around 15%. VAT is 16%. The CIF is 1%, but when calculated, it works out to about 3.5%. So that's add on to the VAT. You're basically seeing 20%. A basket of goods and service was valued at $100. It's now valued at $250, the same items. And inflation is galloping at around 17%. And you are boasting that you have improved the standard of life for the average man. Let us evaluate it and be honest that how better off are the average man based on, let us put in equal of what is happening. But let me get back to the $98 million that your brother said 41 million is for the port. You have some for housing and some for the road. And you're stating that the opposition does not care about poor people. Well, it's 1 year since Hurricane Beryl, and it's 3 years since the volcano. And you have got so much money. And if you go a little further back, the election of 2020, you brought in so much material that was to assist in housing and all that. So why are we still has to and you're claiming that those things was to assist people who got damaged for the storms and other things that had took place between 2015 and 2020. So, explain to me, I'm asking the question, why is it that we are in this situation, especially concerning the road? Because it was mentioned that after the airport, all the equipment would be utilized to ensure we have proper roads and in this country. Yeah. And there has been projects after projects after projects. But still, the condition of the roads are terrible throughout the entire islands, Grenadines, and mainland. And the farmers, that's another story by itself. But I will deal with that a little later, once I have the opportunity. So, I will ease for now. And that's it.
When we played that game against Ireland, it was just after Test matching, and we travelled the same night. I think we took the Irish team quite lightly. I think the captain spun the toss in front of the pavilion. I think it was Basil Butcher. He was the standing captain, and we got rolled over.
Reardon now to Butcher. And he's out. Butcher is caught in the gully by Duffy. A fine catch. Butcher caught Duffy, bowled O'Riordan for 2, and the West Indies are now 6 for 4. Clive Lloyd, very unusual for him, just 1 run. He's been at the wicket now for about 20 minutes.
I didn't know what the pitch was like because we didn't have a look at it until we got there. When you got the bat, you realize that the pitch was wet and will do a bit.
Goodwin bowling to him. And he's out. He's caught at mid-on. Clive Lloyd out for 1. John Shepherd from Barbados, who plays for Kent in the county championship. And one thing which is very impressive here this morning is the way in which the Irish side are playing in the field. They're not getting excited. They're quite calm, cool and collected, as Goodwin now bowls to Shepherd. And he's out, caught at gully. Jerry Duffy's second catch in the gully. Shepherd playing exactly the same, well, not quite the same stroke. That was off the back foot, but hitting in exactly the same place to Duffy in the gully. And the West Indies now 8 for 6.
At one stage, we had more byes than runs.
And the new batsman is Michael Finlay, the wicketkeeper. And that's out, caught at mid-off. No, yes, caught at the third attempt. Caught by Robin Waters at mid-off, a little dolly catch, which he very, very nearly dropped. Went into both hands, knocked it up with the left and caught it again in both hands. So the West Indies now in even worse trouble. They are 12 for 7. Clyde Walcott looking very thoughtful indeed, as well he might. Great sense of humour, a fine manager. The whole side respect him enormously. And they're going to respect him even more if he can get a few runs here and get the West Indies out of this terrible trouble they're in at the moment. And that's up in the air, and that's going to be out, caught at cover. It's Ivan Anderson underneath it, and he's out, Clyde Walcott. Clyde Walcott caught by Ivan Anderson off the bowling of O'Riordan. And the West Indies now are 12 for 8.
Clyde Walcott was brought out of retirement to play, and he was quite embarrassed. We even got sent back in, and the two of us sort of stood there and batted out the rest of the day.
And it's O'Riordan bowling to Findlay. And Findlay has hit it up in the air, and that's going to be out caught by the wicket-keeper. He's out caught by Cahoon. Findlay out for naught, and the West Indies now 12 for 9.
When you got the bat, you realize that the pitch was wet and will do a bit. And I think it was O'Riordan, I think the guy's name was, and as a farmer, I think, and he did extremely well. Did a few things with the ball.
And the number 11 batsman is Filbert Blair. A very occasional batsman, has no pretensions whatsoever to batsmanship. And Blair going down to have a look at the wicket. I just wonder if Doug Goodwin has realised here that O'Riordan's on a hat-trick, because he's still only got 2 slips a gully and a backward short leg, and it's O'Riordan now bowling to Blair. And he hits that away down. Now there is the first 4 of the innings. And a very relieved crowd, I feel, applauding that boundary. And Blair hitting that much straighter. It'll be just the 1 run. They won't come back for the second. Yes, they're coming. Could be a run out. But he just makes it. And so a real turnaround that. At the end of Alec O'Riordan's over, the score was 12 for 9 at the beginning of that over. And it is now 25 for 9. And it's going to be Doug Goodwin to continue from the mill end, bowling to the right-hander, Shillingford. And he's out bowled, hit the top of the off stump. Shillingford bowled by Goodwin for 3, and the West Indies are all out for 25.
Well, any cricket.
Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday only on Nice Radio.
St. Vincent long ago was hailed the region strength. Salaries were low, but life was still good then. Then drugs and crime showed up. That one man vowed he'll fix. He asked for 2 full tubs. Now he asking for 6. He promised to be tough on drugs and crime. When comes to serious crime, he missing all the time. The toughest man on crime seems missing all the time. Dispatch and man on crime keeps flashing all the time. He calling for world peace when there's no peace at home. He wants to fix the wall. It's time he fix the own home. Years ago, no gangs gangsters rule the town. No high maintenance girls, no prostitution. Now we tap the mother chart, 50 plus alone last year. We losing all we youth, does anybody care? With 5 commissioners, 5 full terms in a row. One night, 5 youths gone down. It's time for them to go. Mass murders in town, says the news headline. The toughest man on crime went missing another time. He wants to fix the wall and do it all alone. St. Vincent needs a fix. It's time he fix his own home.
Did you know Marcus Garvey believed mental slavery was deeper than chains? We are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free the mind. He saw colonization not just in lands, but in how people viewed themselves. Do not remove the kinks from your hair. Remove them from your brain. He urged us to unlearn shame and relearn pride by knowing who we are. Garvey called ignorance a burden. Remove yourself as far as possible from ignorance. He wasn't just speaking to schools, he was speaking to the soul. Mental freedom, he taught, is the first revolution and the hardest to win. Poll: can we be truly free without decolonizing the mind first? Like, follow, share. If you believe education isn't reform, it's resistance.
When children drank cow's milk with arrowroot.
Pleasant good night to all in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's just keeping it real. And I'm going to open the line early tonight. So if you're listening, you are free to call and make your contribution tonight. I am kind of under the weather, so I'm saving maybe my voice for later on in the program. But I played few clips for you. One of them is West Indies 1969. And truly, history repeats itself. I don't know, Poya must say was around those times, so I don't know if you know the discussion that took place around 69.
Well, I didn't know much about that until 74, when the team went back to England prior to the World Cup. And they were reminded of what had transpired in 69, which was 5 years before. And they had performed reasonably well back in 74. That was leading into the World Cup because you had at one time 8 Guyanese in the squad. You had Rohan Kanai, Roy Fredericks, Calichuran, Lance Gibbs. Yeah, but you had about 8 Guyanese made up of the I think it's the 60-man squad that had went to that. And then the captaincy, Lloyd was also on the Sobers the captaincy had been taken away from Sobers to Kanai. And then the very next year it was given to Clive Lloyd. So from Sobers to Kanai, then to Lloyd. And then they won the World Cup in 75. But that was just 6 years prior to the embarrassment that took place with Ireland, where they were bowled out for 25.
Okay, so, but you don't remember anything about the discussion in those days?
Well, the discussion was around also still about insularities because that was still in the head because they were stating at all certain players should not have been there. And when they had to, the manager had to also participate as a player because of the whole insularity. So insularities has always been facing West Indies cricket. And the Frankie Thomas Stan, the Bajan, right? He has made a statement and said that before long, West Indies would have to depend on the smaller islands, which is the Windward and the Leeward, for some of their better players. And it did come to pass.
The school's supposed to be open shortly, and a number of the schools are in terrible condition and need to be repaired before the children return to school. The problem with the book loan scheme again, where a lot of children are not getting a lot of books.
A lot of books
on the book loan scheme, someone and a teacher told me some does get up to 4.
Well,
okay, let me just take this call. Pleasant good night. Pleasant good night. Hello. Okay. Pleasant good night. Okay, boy, go ahead.
Because my granddaughter who's going to Form 3 in Bishop College. One book,
yes,
a math book, costs over $100. $100. So all of our books together may come up close to.
That's all I get. Pleasant good night.
Hello.
Good night.
Yes, good night, Father Abraham.
Good night. I answered you the first time, but like you. Go ahead.
Yeah. Congratulations. Where they go? Which way I get that?
But you're supposed to know that.
Where I get a piece of cricket story?
But you're supposed to know that.
I remember. As a youngster, I remember.
Okay.
So it's a good thing. Listener, you see that 50th anniversary that St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister has gotten involved in. You know, I have to say to myself, like, he wants to become the future, let me put it that way, future president of West Indies cricket somehow. a lot of the things he bring back, I'm aware. But why? Why now? I wonder where we were to see when West Indies were bowled out for 25. I know he was wrong, but where was, and these are things, and I didn't even remember Mike Finley was on that team. I got to tell Mike Finley to replay that game, man. I really had to tell him to replay some of that,
But the commentator say he batted twice.
Yes, I pick up something like that, but I can't remember
twice.
that. I can't remember that good. So that's a nice one. That's a nice one.
He batted twice.
And yeah, I hear you. So when I know he does a program on Saturday night on NBC Radio, so I have to really ask him. Well, he might get a message, he might come loaded with whatever. But you see where the embarrassment of being bowled out for such a low score didn't just happen, and that's what Vincent should that's what they should take note of. And it happened at a time when we had our best cricketers, right? It happened at a time when we really had great cricketers because when you call so many names,
you have Gary Sobers, Lance Gibson,
right? Who do you want after? Who he just called it?
They have
Because Gary,
Gary
yes.
Sobers, Lance Gibson, Clive Lloyd, John Shepard,
Yeah,
yes,
those are
Shelley
the,
Ford
that's
Roberts,
right.
yes.
It even brought back I heard somebody named to Lord, no, one of Stephen, yeah, he should
Yes.
have been around, Stephen Kamash, or
Yeah, correct.
Kamash was,
Steve, yes,
Very clean that up now.
yes.
Kamash was from Guyana.
Guyana, yeah.
Guyana he was from. I studied cricket. I followed cricket a long time ago. I could remember as a boy when in 1962, when we give India now who control cricket 5-0 in the Caribbean. Yeah, 1962 was that series, followed by West Indies going to England in 1963, and Murray being the wicket keeper. And there was a guy from Barbados who I think was his deputy, something Allen. But it calls for those of us of a certain age who follow cricket from way back when. And that's why I'm so mad. I'm so vexed with people getting themselves in this kind of cricket, what to call it? Cricket brainwash thing and so on. We all are Caribbean people. We all should support the West Indies team. And if we could,
But Dave,
hi.
I want to ask you something. You could recall when Kenya, a non-entity, beat us also in the World Cup and put us out?
That's right.
With Lara and all those Adams and all them?
I think Coffee was there.
Yeah.
In that, if I'm mistaken.
Lara was there also too.
Okay.
So
fool talk, but a fool listening. You have plenty smart, sensible, intelligent, knowledgeable people about cricket, who just listen. Some of them carrying on, and making us embarrassing the Caribbean, so to speak. Not because your prime minister, you have the authority. Well, we see what goes on in our country, but not because you're prime minister. That means everything you say. And that is what is bothering me too, because there are some people in this country who believe everything that the prime minister says is gospel. Some of them.
But Dave, I want to say this last piece to you. You can remember primary school cricket?
Oh yeah, back in those days, primary school cricket was strong.
So now, if you don't have a foundation or a nursery to start from, you expect to have.
That is important.
And what have they done for the past 25 years that they have been there towards sports development and a whole in this country?
Only talking a whole set of bull.
Well, exactly.
Talking a set of bull. I know about that. I know about that because we had this small island, big island thing. Everybody fighting to be, for position, and that's it. And never really paid any serious attention. Let me tell you something. I remember being at. I never used to miss cricket at Annisville, playing field. Now that playing field down there in my neck of the woods, and I haven't been there for years now. I haven't been there for years. But it's something I remember. I was at Annisville playing field when it newly opened, when it now started to play first class cricket and all of that. And at the time, I didn't raise my voice, or maybe I wasn't mature. I wasn't talking like how I talk now. But I remember Jackie Hendricks, and I have to emphasize Jackie Hendricks, wicketkeeper for the West Indies. He had stopped playing already. He was a big boy, He was something to do with the WICBC, as it used to be, West Indies Cricket Board of Control, and Peter Lashley. And when I call his name, some people know what I'm talking about. Peter Lashley was a Bajan, you know, and a fairly good cricketer, I would say, back in his time. And they watched Arnisville for one of these matches. And because of my media connection, I was sitting in the booth and I listened to the two of them, Bajan and Jamaican, saying, imagine they want us to play test cricket here. And they even have proper accommodation in the commentator's booth. You know, when I heard them talking, you know, I said, but they didn't realize this guy named Dave Roberts was listening to them. You know, I have sat with Julian Hunt in St. Lucia one time when they had some tournament there because they invited, at that time I am involved in the media, invited us. I was invited. They invited those people who were covering the cricket in St. Lucia that year. That's Julian Hunt, who was once president of West Indies Cricket. And I'm hearing him say, you know, I am hearing him telling some others, you know, that Clive Lloyd, you know, that Clive Lloyd, I do everything to help him, blah, 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 and so on. He never support me for president. No, I just mentioned that now because to tell you, a lot of us don't know what goes on behind the scene, you know. You have these guys who are supposed to be running the cricket and so on, have the personal grudge or personal animosity, whatever. And I just happened to be there. I made the front page of a paper years ago with Clive Lloyd. I think it was in that same St. Lucia. Yes, it was shook hands and so on. And that's because he was West Indies captain at the time. And I did an interview, you know, and I made sure I asked somebody from St. Lucia, and I said, take a picture of me and Clive Lloyd here for me, man. Yeah, so I interviewed Michael Holden and so you know the big boys of cricket in the Caribbean. But those who really should have been doing a good job, a better job of molding our cricketers, they failed miserably. They fail as cricket administrators. All I know, they were, you know, and when you're in that, you know, I saw them as a bunch of aristocrats, so to speak, cricketer aristocrats at the time, hanging out together, drinking the best drink. I mean, I had a drink with them too, because I was part of whatever. Yeah, so I really like, yes, really, when I hear the thing, I say, yes, I remember that thing, that West Indies team being bowled out for a very low score, and everybody was shocked. Well, people who I know follow cricket at the time around, who were around and so on, they were shocked to hear that kind of display. And I forget Mike Phil was part of that. So, Brother Mike, I hope you're listening to me now, because we go back a long, long time. But there are some hypocrites, some real, you know, what do you call them?
That's why Coco says amazing how people have changed.
Yeah, well,
it's
Coco
amazing
is one of
how
the
people have
culture, you know.
changed.
And I must play that song. Well, I don't know what was the intention of that opening calypso by Gypsy. Captain, the ship is sinking. I don't know what Van Abraham has in mind there, but maybe he could elaborate on that. Give me a piece more. Give me a piece more. Give me a piece more that tune there.
Okay,
Go on.
okay, all right. Thank you. It's Poya. Pleasant good night. Let me just make one correction before. It's Lance Gibbs instead of Lance Gibbs, so my mistake. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, good night, gentlemen.
Yes, good night.
You're gonna give me a few minutes. Now, I've listened to the Parliament yesterday. For a long time, I didn't listen to them, but it just so happened that I'm listening. And I heard Mr. Camilo Gonzalez talking about the United Nations and human rights. And you have a right to this, and you have a right to that, and you have a right to house, and you have a house to this and a house. So I'm there listening for my buddy Bramble. I told him something about it, he think I was joking. But I'm listening, they're saying, well, my buddy Bramble going to interfere with the guy. I asked him, where was the UN human rights, with rights for this and rights for that and rights for everything, when because some people refuse to take an experimental drug, you put them out of work, which means you put them to starve, which means you put them to lose their homes, and the string goes on. If I were in there, Camilo won't go and get away with that. You know, I'm trying to figure out something. I might have to get something so that, you see, like yesterday, I like to play all of them, blow by blow, and respond to all of them blow by blow. Then, of course, there's the Mr. Woodhave. I want to draw attention to finally, Kenton Johns woke up.
Mm-hmm.
See, there's a disease in the Caribbean.
Yes.
You would have disease.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Norma Keezer been writing about this stuff years ago in the Southlight. Would have. It means you didn't do it. If you're going to say would have, you must say if after, because you didn't do it. In other words, I would have played cricket if my hand was not broken. You didn't play. You would have. But Mr. Woodhave yesterday is talking about North Windward and how it was neglected and in the dark. No. I can't believe that. And talking now, Cummins is sitting there. I don't get it. Cummins is sitting there, and he was the man who was responsible for everybody, for making water available to everybody in North Windward, and 2. And you let that guy get away with that? And it was the NDP that brought light to that area as well.
Mm-hmm.
How you just sit there and let these guys get away with these things? Eh? I don't know. Now, yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, the port, ladies and gentlemen, and you heard a lot of stuff yesterday, and I'm telling you, there are some people out there who could have been well more prepared, but I don't know, to respond to somebody. Mr. Bramble did a good job. You know, before I go on with that, I want to say something. Last week, or this week, Monday night, I happened to listen to Jomo, and there was a young man on there. Wait, Mr. Shallow. Yes, Mr. Shallow. Let me explain it again, folks. He is my cousin, because his grandmother, Mary Kane, was a Providence, who had to call my great-grandmother Auntie Pet Providence. By the way, I don't know if I don't know whether Mr. Shallow knows this or what. He is related to the Richards in Antigua, Mr. Shallow. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mr. Shallow? If you want any information on that, I'll be glad to update you on that. You are related to the Richards of Antigua. Some of them left there and they came here. Timmy Richards, Uncle Metro, all of them. One family, or they string from one family up there. As a matter of fact, I remember a cousin of mine telling me, he said, when you watch Uncle Metro walk, you see, look at the gait. The style of walking, precisely the same like Vivian Richards. So, Mr. Shallow, you're good. I know that that recording, Abraham, How much they out for?
25.
Would you all stop telling lies? I mean, you know, people could doctor tapes and all kind of things. That tape was actually doctored. Okay? No way that team there. No way that team. The caliber of the players there could have outdone for 25.
But some of them batted twice.
I don't know. I listened to that fellow there. I'm not sure how he got Michael Finley. I don't think that.
No, that was a mistake. That had to be a mistake.
I think it was a mistake.
But nobody said they batted twice. Lloyd said that.
Yeah, but not for the 25.
Not for the 25.
Yeah, not for the 20. They went in the second time.
We just listen to the commentary part of it. We're not listening to that other part there. But here you are. And people asking what was the reaction in the West Indies. Well, nobody didn't call to put anybody head on the block. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. But like you say, history has a way, and to think, you know, this is good. That team, 25, the same man who tried to crucify my cousin, kill him, is the same man who bring in that members of that squad here, gain them all kind of money. We need to get lick up. All I got to get to the bottom of this. No imbi bimbi mambi bambi bambi. I heard some kind of story about who ain't paying for who. Let's find out that these guys didn't pay for everything. No. Anyhow, you believe that? Did what? We need to get a proper accounting for this money. A proper accounting for the money. So now, back to the ports and the stuff we hear in there. Now, folks, I was minding my own business. You know what? I got to say something for some people out there. Like some cousin of mine who on Facebook writing stuff about me and my mother that he doesn't know nothing about. But let me say something. I've said it a million times. I owe no allegiance to no political party. And a matter of fact, I'm borrowing that from a president of the United States. He said that in those days, long time ago, you didn't have no president and vice president on the ticket. You had people on the ticket. Who got the next most votes became the vice president. And that fellow said this: I owe no allegiance to no president. He's the vice president too, except I think he's acting in the best interests of the country. You think you are going to deal with that? Huh? So if I think the ULP is acting in the best interest of the country on something, I'll say something. If the NDP is doing something, I will say something. And when this crop expect me to say it's crop, as in the case of COVID vaccines. Now, one of you, Poya, you mentioned VAT before. My position on VAT is the same. VAT is a wicked tax. And the NDP, rather than talking about reducing it, why are you going to reduce it so that people can get more money, right? What happens if you get rid of it altogether and go back to what we had before? Somebody needs to do an analysis of the money collected since VAT and what was done with it and what happened before we had VAT. VAT is a nasty tax. Nasty tax, especially for poor people. Everybody likes to talk about poor people. No leacock. Not reduce. Get rid of. I know our number of partner leacock. The leacock. You see that VAT, that thing on the surcharge on electricity? You all need to tell the country you are going to get rid of it. Okay. So, as I was saying, I'm listening to this young man there, Mr. Shallow is on there. And not because of my cousin. Oh, they don't know me. If he did make a proper presentation of himself, I would have said so. And then the next morning, Mr. Huggins, I got to find out something from Mr. Huggins, because one of the most famous head teacher for the Chumuka Government School was a fellow named Huggins. I know he has some people in Chumuka who my mother used to call them cousin this and cousin that, cousin Lena and cousin this. And I got to think somewhere in my head that they left Chumuka and went to Barley and somehow countryside. Yes, this teacher Huggins fella, boss head teacher, I was told. You know how they have, they have teams in the school. They had the Huggins this and the this, that, and the this, that, and the this, that. Apparently, his crew, when they doing competition now, was the best. And I'm saying, folks, that whole month he was on there. And I'm telling you, I was elated, folks. Those two fellows, make no doubt about it. They have what it takes. I want to say this too, I've said it already, that young lady up north, I'm impressed by her a lot. So now, the port, and some things happen, fellas, in July 2015, I sent a letter to Cummins and Leacock telling him if they make a change, I gone. Yeah, I gone. And by now, everybody know who I was rooting for at that time. And I say, well, no. Anyway, and by the way, Leacock, was the NDP all going along with that referendum? You probably could tell them why they had a change of heart. Tell them. I know that they're talking to me partner Leacock, because I also got him to ask a question in Parliament about Otley Hall. And that is the first time we find out at the time that Otley Hall was making a profit. I wonder what happened now. Wonder what happened to it now. And I'm saying this too now. You see that Otley Hall inquiry? I believe there should be a commission of inquiry on that waste of money. The waste of money. That. So now to the port. So I get on radio, I talk, and people cuss me out and all kind of things. But it's my choice. It's a democratic country. A fellow named Mayor Koch, great Democrat, mayor of New York City, never supported Clinton. He called him a lecture. Didn't support him. Look up the word lecture. He said, I believe he raped that woman, Juanita Broderick. So, I'm doing what might be, I don't expect to be rewarded. This is about St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and I want no personal reward. So I do my thing, and they get in there, and the next thing, me studying them, I done. I got a call in January from a certain partner of mine saying they want me to go on a board. Me won't go on a board. You know what he told me? No, I didn't go. Well, in July of the same year, I didn't show up. He called me. He said, what happened? He said, I don't want to go. He said, well, listen to me. We're planning to build a port for 100, listen to this, fellas, 116 million US. And I don't want anybody to build no house while we're doing it. So I relented, I went. All right. So he started 116 million US. Before you could blink your eyes twice, was 182 million US. Oh, by the way, St. Vincent, you were mentioning something there just now. What happened to the cross country road? How much money we spent on that? Then we were supposed to get a port at Arnesville. I remember that. Then the next thing we were supposed to get a tunnel under Kane Hall.
King Garden. King Garden.
Under Kane Garden, yes. Under Kane Garden, a tunnel. I don't know to go where, to land out where, to park where. And of course, we had all these hotels that were supposed to be on stream 150 years ago. Black Sun, one at Mount Queen and all of that. You see, these guys like to talk. They like to talk and talk and talk. Anyway, so I was not in support. Listen, they did some study. And Leacock got this document, I knew it. Because I heard Leacock in the parliament debating the thing, and I'm saying, good. I was never more shocked when at the conclusion I hear Leacock say they supported the thing. Excuse me? Supporting what? When you gave the numbers as to how much we're making up the road, how much in that we are, or were, until Bishan go there and we start to do some, they start to make some money. I'm serious, you know, guys. The port started to make some money. But just like the tunnel under Kane Garden and the port there, so here we have this port. And Poya, you made the point. There is a reason why all them things is at one side, that's Kingston, not the northern side. Believe it or not, folks. You all might think it's the west side. It's not. It's not. There's a reason. They did all their studies before and figured this side, up there, was the best side for all of that. Even the Canadians, I think the Canadians, you see where the financial complex is there, that thing all there? I think the Canadians spent something in the neighborhood of, I'm trying to picture it in my head, the sign that was up there. Something in the neighborhood of 6 million Canadian dollars. I later wrote about it and call it the most expensive parking lot in the world. So here you come now, and they must have done studies, Poya. This is why everybody shied away from bottom town. They must have done proper studies. Can't work. So you hear them there, the Camilo fellow, you heard him, and he's talking about this outside piece that is supposed to, well, it's sort of like the retaining part. If that goes, everything goes. Now, you got Ralph Gonsalves saying 1/3, folks. 1/3 of it is in jeopardy. How do you still call that small? 1/3 and it's small? Huh? And they go there doing something. I don't know who did geological studies, and I hear him casting aspersions and Cummins and Stewart and all of them. But both Cummins and Stewart are better qualified. Ralph, please present to the country the engineering qualifications, the skills of Mr. Lemke. Please do it. Please do it. Folks, the first man that came here, the first engineer that came here, he lasted a month. He lasted a month. I wonder why he lasted a month. Because they inspected or took a look at the credentials of somebody. See, we can work with you. Imagine this thing is going on, and the fellow can't tell you why the thing is falling apart. He say it must be something. Well, wait a minute. If your definition is that it must be something, that is how experts going to tell you what it must be something. What precisely is the something, Mr. Linsky? What precisely is the something? Well, folks, the thing you hear them talking about welling and welling and welling. Now, these piles were supposed to go deep into the ground. But guess what? The geology at a certain point does not allow them to penetrate. I told people already, it's something similar to Gibson Corner. That thing there where the sun is there and you can't penetrate it, none at all. They can't get it to penetrate. So they come up with something talking about, what are they calling it, boy? Give me the thing, what are they calling it? This locking thing and the whatever they do in there, because what is supposed to happen? It's supposed to lock over like when you put on galvanized on your house.
You want to hear the clip?
Go ahead, please.
I want to speak to the issue of the declutching of the key wall and the sheet piles, because I don't want anybody to leave this honorable house.
Declutching. You know why it's declutching? Because they now have to come up with something to weld the stuff together. That's not supposed to happen. So you're welding stuff in the sea, folks. How long is the well then going to hold, folks? How long is it going to hold, folks? The welding stuff, you see they put out something where they call it re something or the other. I should have the word in front of me. That is happening, and it's going to open this and that. That's what, folks. The pressure, you put that thing there, the pressure from the sea outside is going to knock it down every time. Because it's not in the ground. You can't weld that, folks. You can't weld it. It will never, ever be sustainable. Sooner or later. Sooner. It already happened, isn't it? Hasn't it already happened? So, Frank, what are you talking about sooner? It has already happened. So they're there now. And I don't know who somebody put up with a hoe. You see that? You saw that there?
You mean the front end loader?
Yes, the front end loader scooping up thing from over there and putting it over there. No, that's got to be a joke. In the first place, how deep does that front end loader go?
So if it could take enough sun right there, you can hear that it doesn't have the depth. Straightforward.
This is a joke. It is a joke. Oh, by the way, you know what fast to just now? When one of the fellas pull out, you remember this is not the first time they come in for money for the boat now. Because they had to come up with the equivalent of something that amounted to an additional 100 million EC dollars. Sometime last year. This way they come in here now is not new. Because after those people pull out, certain international funds went with them. And again, ladies and gentlemen, you see, after this loan was made of 700 and something million to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I am telling you all again, I ain't guessing, against the wishes of the majority of people and the CDP, they decide that fella had to go. So, I mean, they just like throw him out of the place, seizes that and throw him out. An individual wrote a 4-page document saying they only treating him like that because he's a St. Lucian. Oh, yeah. A 4-page document. So when you hear them talking about CDB, you know one of the reasons these people are a problem? They believe that St. Vincent will never be able to pay the money back. And that could be the end of the CDB. So, when you hear them talking about the CDB putting up this now, they don't have a choice, do they? Because they already in debt for millions of dollars. By the way, gentlemen, I wonder if Ralph Gonsalves could tell us those welding machines, how many of them have gone out so far? I wonder. How many of them have burned out so far? St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are in deep trouble. Oh, by the way, I forget one just now. Abraham,
Right.
how much we spend on geothermal?
Can't remember.
We have to remember. It's a tremendous sum. And where did geothermal that was supposed to be the game changer? You know, these people really ain't got no shame. And all ain't talking of, because not one of you ever heard me, because I did a whole thing in 2007 there about when you start talking about geothermal, and it's crap. It's crap. So don't come with me with this stupidness. So those are some of the things. So when, no, I ain't done yet. You're talking about the road and repair for road. Oh, Lord of His mercy. In 2015 or 14 or thereabouts, big announcement, fellas.
27 million.
No, in 2015?
No, the geothermal.
Geothermal.
Oh, 27 million?
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, just say to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines could know about the wastage. $27 million. And they got the law to be inside the pamper setting. Pamper setting. With the pony monkey show.
So what about the cross-country road?
Well, that will tell you too.
Yeah.
And the cross-country road, you know. Remember, some of that, they use money that was pledged to the NDP and switched the money to the cross-country road. You aware of that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yes. So, we're talking about the roads now. And Mr. Woodhouse is talking about this road and that and this and that. And he mentioned something about 80-something million they are about to spend. But in 2015, gentlemen, they made a similar announcement, somewhere in the $80 million for road. So I'm right. I don't believe people could be so bold-faced like. I got on radio one morning and started to talk about, well, look for the kind of road work that's going to pop up now. I got a call from somebody. Frank, don't talk about that no more. Because guess what? I'll be lucky if I get 10% of the 80-something million. St. Vincent and Grenadines, guess what? It's been nice talking to you all. Good night.
All right, thank you.
I want to speak to the issue of the declutching of the key wall and the sheet piles, because I don't want anybody to leave this honorable house with the misapprehension that...
Good night.
Good night.
Yes. Good night, Father. Good night. Father Abraham.
Good night.
Father Abraham.
Right.
Yes, remember, before the last, I talked about the NPK fertilizer.
Yeah, correct.
And the Gramazone, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would like, well, I have two things to read out here. I pick up on the internet, right? Okay. Before the program finish, I'd like you to play the tape with the NPK fertilizer and the Gramazone for the listeners today, right? Because I want this thing to soak in. About the NPK fertilizer. Now, I'm going to tell the farmers and them this. If you have any NPK fertilizer at home, dispose of it. I just put it by the roadside for the garbage truck to pick up or take it to the landfill.
if you buy any paraquat, dispose of it. Those I don't you spend so much money for that rate. I can't show you all the money. I put it by your own side so you capture pick up or take it to landfill. Now, both the NPK fertilizer and the paraquat has the potential to kill hundreds of honeybees. Which could result in substantial loss, financial loss to the beekeepers. Right? Now, I am calling on the Prime Minister to put a ban on paraquat. I want to call on him to stop to beg for NPK fertilizer to give to the farmers and them. Now, I'm going to read out two things quickly. First one, I was curious when went at my phone, my smartphone, and I typed in how many farmers in the United States came down with Parkinson's linked to paraquat. Right. Then I see a number of things, and I scroll down to this. American farmers pursue Syngenta over herbicides linked to Parkinson's. And this is what I read. The Swiss-based multinational has already set aside US $187.5 million CHF, whatever that is, that means 171 million to settle legal cases filed by farmers exposed to paraquat. But the total bill could run into billions of lawsuits piled up. American farmer Doug Holliday has helped feed the nation for decades, grain, corn, and soybean, and raising cattle on thousands of acres of land outside Greenfield, a rural city of some 2,000 people in the Midwest state of Iowa. Married with 3 children, 59-year-old Holliday was hoping for a quiet life, working his farm holding. Instead, he decided to go into battle with one of the world's biggest suppliers of pesticides and seeds, Switzerland-based Syngenta Group. He has joined hundreds of farmers across the United States who have filed product liability lawsuits against the company over its failure to warn them that the top-selling herbicide, paraquat, is linked to serious health problems, including Parkinson's disease. Farmers exposed to the toxic chemical, including many who have already developed debilitating and incurable brain disorder, are also seeking financial compensation for non-economic and economic losses such as needed cost and loss of income. For years, Holliday was a heavy user of paraquat, which is sold at all over the world, mostly under the brand name Gramazone. I skip out a lot of things because it's plenty of things. Over the past decade, successive studies have linked the herbicide to a higher risk of developing Parkinson's, the 10th leading cause of death among the over 65 in the US, and which was responsible for almost 35,000 deaths
in this age group in 2019. That's the end of whatever, right? But it's just more things, right? Now, the Prime Minister never, Parker is extremely dangerous. You also know that NPK fertilizer is extremely dangerous to plants. And no, it has some doubt in Thomas's. How we expect the Prime Minister to know that? This is what we're going to answer them. Now, the people working at the plant protection unit, one of their main jobs is to go on the internet and do research in order to get the things that is relevant to agriculture in this country. That if any threat to agriculture, potential threat, they will inform the Prime Minister. It's a pass, and this is always a pass one. The people at the plant protection unit, if you find out something that is very important for the country to know, very essential to know. First, they will tell the head of the plant protection unit, who in turn will tell the permanent secretary in the plant protection unit, who in turn will tell the chief agriculture officer, who in turn will tell the Minister of Agriculture, who in turn will tell the Prime Minister. So everything will come to the Prime Minister. They will always keep it informed. The same thing goes with tourism. The same thing goes with health. The same thing goes with disaster. So the Prime Minister knows. He knows 70 countries ban Parker linked to Parkinson's, but yet he refused to ban Parker. He knows that NPK fertilizer is extremely dangerous, but he's still going over back to share with his farmers. That's all I have to say.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good night.
All right.
I want to speak to the issue of the declutching of the key wall and the sheet piles, because I don't want anybody to leave this honorable house with the misapprehension that we are appropriating this money to deal with the matter of the declutching at the key wall, because this is not the case. The key wall, as I don't want to speak in jargon again, less not for the honorable member, but less people are listening and not clear on what I'm speaking about. The key wall is essentially the retaining wall at the front of the port where it meets the sea. And it is where you hold the soil.
Good night.
Good night, Abraham.
Good night, good night.
And good night, Poya.
Good night.
Now, Abraham,
Hey.
Frank said something there that I quite agree with about removing this VAT from these Binlec bills. Because to be honest,
He spoke about the surcharge and the Binlec bill.
yeah, the surcharge, but
Yes.
they
have VAT also.
Right. But to be honest, they should remove this VAT thing from the Binlec bill. Because that put in an added strain on my bill. And what really happened, Abraham, you wouldn't believe it. Binlec have $450 from it about 20 years ago. And I am not getting no kind of return, nothing at all from it. And you know how it come about? I guess you would know. I have 3 meters.
Installation, 150.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
And over 20 years, and they're not even taking off something. They're not giving me an extra something from it, so they just have my money there. And I find it is real unreasonable. To be honest, I find it is real unreasonable because they're just making money off of my money, and I still have to pay the bill when the month come, and I have to pay all. So I will like when the NDP go there, man, these things, they should remove them things, man, and give back people the money, because I can imagine there's a lot of us who've been like this kind of money, take this money from and just have it there. So I think that they should give us back with money, man. Now, Abraham, permit me to ask this question of the government. Which is really the big company in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that is helping to pay the government, to help the government to pay public servants? I wonder if they will answer that. And I ask again, which one of the big company in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is paying public servants here? So at least I hope if it's true, well, say it's not true, they could say it's not true. But I can name at least a category of workers that I understand that the company is paying. And something I want to know again, Abraham, because I don't like to be too long on the phone. Now, I now understand that it's a one-story building. They were building the hospital. That could be true?
No, I don't know. I could find out, but I don't know.
Because but that is what I'm hearing. Because if it's a one-story, to me, it's just a waste of land space and whatnot. And that area, the building, that hospital, I can tell you now, Abraham, I born and grew up in Cane Hall, you know. You see right by the roundabout?
Yes.
I born on the left-hand side there. I born there and grew up there and up a boom boom, up a Cane Hall. So I know the area, and that area does always flood sometimes, you know. If you have a good shower rain for a couple of days, water normally go over into the area, you know, and water that coming down from Upper Cane Hall and them places always going over in the area, you know. So I only hope that if they put in a hospital there, it should be at least 5 feet off the ground floor, at least should be about 5 feet off the ground. But I really can't believe that they're taking that piece of land and waste it by just putting up a one-story, to be honest. Because I really thought when I hear they talking about hospital going there and whatnot, I thought it was something like a 4-story building or something like that. I still can't believe it's a 1-story building going there. Because to me, it seems to me as if they're only doing that to show that they could build a hospital because of election coming. But I think they should really build a 4-story, man. It's a waste of time they're doing that there. All the best, fellas.
Okay, I hope you get an answer from this caller now. Pleasant good night.
Abraham.
How are you doing?
Your sidekick there?
Yes, man. Right.
Speaking in technical terms, like Camilio, you don't think Camilio and his father Ralph are declutched from society? Yeah, because since we have to talk in terminologies like they did in Parliament for people to understand, I think the two of them are declutched from society, and I leave you with that tonight.
Pleasant good night. We continue playing this part.
I'm speaking in very general terms. I'm not using technical terms because I'm trying to speak in a way that everybody will follow. It's a retaining structure. It separates the land from the sea, and that's where the boats dock. The boats will pull up, essentially, at the quay wall. And
Pleasant good night.
Well, I forgot to give you fellas a big piece of information. They were planning a huge celebration at the port.
Yeah, I heard that.
For your heard?
Yes.
But wait, let me see now. I'm going to pick him out. What have you heard?
I can't remember which month, but one of the months they were supposed to have a celebration there. And,
a big ship.
Yes.
A big ship was supposed to be docking.
No. The party was supposed not docking.
Some anniversary thing or yes.
Celebration.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
But the people would not allow it. So they refer them to because people going to be there with all kind of behavior, right? You see, they have to buy insurance. And the insurance is a huge sum. So the celebration has been cancelled.
Okay.
They're probably now going to go out Argyle.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. They're probably going out there. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Key wall system is designed in such a way as it behaves like an uninterrupted wall. However, on some occasions, the sheet piles that are supposed to link together to be interlocked, sometimes they can declutch. So there can be a gap between particular parts in the key wall that take place during installation.
Pleasant good night.
And it
Yeah,
could be
good
because
night,
of
gentlemen.
Good night, good night.
Yeah, how are you?
Good, good.
Mr. Poyle?
Yes,
You are there?
darling. Yes, darling.
Poyle, when you started the campaign in 2001, what you were beating on? Let me see if you remember. Otley Hall.
Otley Hall and leadership.
Otley Hall was a well-constructed ship dock, ain't?
Yes.
Did they have any decluttering in Otley Hall?
No.
Yeah, but they didn't have no decluttering problem, but you all declutter it.
Yes.
Yes, leave it there. So now, we started with a port and we will end with a port. Okay? Now, the port we ending in is Port Ralph Everard. That's what the name I give it, Port Ralph Everard. And it have a lot of confusion. It have a lot of problems. Poya, you will call that karma? Would you call it karma?
They say don't sleep.
They don't sleep, yes. The Indians say karma, but the English people say retribution. He campaigned twice on a port that was well built and meant for the people. Meant for the people of St. Vincent. And Poya, you went along with it, although you know about Otley Hall. Poya, you add to it, okay? And the people in all the ignorance, and now they're given a port that they can't even open to celebrate. Okay? You understand? You see such is life? Such is life, Poya. Poya? No, we have to do education, a part on education, okay? Because some of the students that came tops, initially they were students at the prep school.
Prep school, yeah.
Yes. So now, let me tell you what happened, Prep school will just be like any art. There will be no excellence. They have a class of excellence. You know why? They need competition. Poya, a school or a class cannot thrive without they have children who are real competing, Like sometimes a half a mark will put a child way off. You understand? And if there's no competition, nothing is going to happen. Because as I see it now, most of the people who have money or who can take care of the children is going elsewhere. Okay? We have 1,600 or something children sat exam. Well, I the pass mark, but they said 80% pass. Last year was 70-something percent.
79.
79. Now 79 and 1,600. That is plenty children. You know that?
Yeah.
That's nearly 400 children below the pass mark. And these children are going to be dressed and sent to a secondary school. And they will be helpless. Because they cannot read. They have some school, I know, up intermediate high school, in Form 1 and 2, they usually read the questions and tell the children to circle the answers. I do not watch till they stop, the teacher will stop reading the question to them. I do not know. But there's a diagnostic test that that is done. I don't know if you know about it, from grade 3 or grade 2.
Yes.
Grade 3.
Grade
Yes.
They do them in grade 2 and then they also do it again in grade 4.
Grade 4. But the ministry is getting the results and not doing anything about it. So these children keep going up and they're not able to read and comprehend. If you cannot read, how can you know what you're doing, even with history? Let me take history. You have to read history to understand it. And Poya, you have some grandchildren, make sure they can read. When you see them reach grade 3, you make sure and you get help for them. Okay? And then Abraham, we have this comedy thing in the school system. Okay? They take 2 weeks at a time out of the school, whereby parents go to the teacher, them like they're going doctor. They're trying to train to a doctor. The teacher is the doctor. And imagine you going to the same teacher who teaching your child, and your child cannot read. Why don't you ask the teacher why my child is not reading? You understand what I mean?
Yes, yes.
And you going and sitting down with this teacher and she telling you, oh, he's talkative and this, he's lost interest. No, it's a comedy show. Yes, because they should have questioned it. They should question it because I was going to a school, you know, right? All of a sudden they had, she couldn't get to do, we call it science, physics. And the reason for that is the teacher who was teaching physics was going to play cricket overseas. And she go and make no runs on her. And she leave the school, the children them stranded. But let me tell you, let me tell you this. They have some parents that's very concerned with the children. Did you know that a class went on in that the parents got together and hired a teacher, okay? Because they wanted the children to do physics. There's another thing that is happening. Grammar school, high school, the school them, there's problem, and people are not saying there's problem in the school. They're not getting results that they're supposed to get. Oh yeah, they said they introduce farming or agriculture in grammar school. And then I understand that in high school now, they're introducing the same agriculture and they're bringing back, what you call it thing, we used to do cookery or whatever it is. Whatever you call it. But there are problems. And if we don't see about the problems, what will happen? The education, he talking about education revolution. There's no education revolution. It's just that he taking the children them and usher them in. Some of them, that is why the children them used to misbehave. Now, something else with the education. Plenty of schools suffer with that, you know. Because one of the schools that suffer was that St. Martin Secondary School. I mean, if you all know that. And it had to be rescued. It's rescued and a past student got together and they rescued the school because it was downhill. They sent students to CXC and they hardly got passes. So don't look at things because people don't go into it and know what's happening. That school went down. And high school now and the grammar school, the children then with the science subject is getting less and less. What is the reason for that? What is the reason for that? The Minister of Education right now, okay? You know he was headmaster at grammar school once.
Yes.
And the same PM was chanting him down and say, Lord, that he's bringing down the school and the school is not improving. What he did, Curtis King, which is one thing, he went into the school and there's a heritage club was there. And in this heritage club, he made sure him as a past headmaster, he got a photo and hung it in the Heritage Hall. So when you're going to see the past headmasters. He makes sure he did that. But the school need rescuing. The education system need rescuing. And there are some parents who are really helpless. How is it you don't know if your child could read? And boy, there's another thing you must do with the grandchildren, make sure they speak proper English. You know what I mean? You can't converse with them in English. The broken English could always come. Because we have a problem with that at the moment. Okay? Now, why going into election, you just have 4 more months, you're going to borrow money? Huh? Why is that so?
Beryl.
Huh?
Beryl. The hurricane, the volcano.
But you go back to the volcano, Paul, you really them, no? Paul, listen to me, we got plenty money for Sufre. Paul, we got plenty money for Sufre. You understand? Where did Sufre money go? Paul, you know, England send us some money in Sufre time. And we cry it down because it was a small amount. And they send back another portion, you remember?
Yes.
I would like somebody. I remember that good. We got plenty money for the volcano eruption. People were just sending money. The people who send money for the volcano, when we got burial, realized what was happening. So they didn't get much of burial. They had to go and borrow. You understand? Go and get a loan for burial. But The Sufre had money. So who suffers? Some they still have people who ain't get nothing from Sufre Poya.
Yes.
Yes, and that is wrong. Okay? Now I want to settle a case here, okay? And allow me because, okay, Ray should be truthful. I'm one who advocates for truth, okay? Now, to be honest, Mr. Kingsley the Freight was calling on a radio station, okay? And he asked the radio host, which was a lady, if she ever was gun pointed or if she ever saw a gun. She said, yes, she saw a licensed gun, but she was never gun pointed. Now, people, Kingsley was robbed $800 at gunpoint sometime about 2 weeks ago when he went home after work. Somebody stick him up and took $800 from him. But he kind of traumatized. Now, Kingsley, we are not friends, we're not enemy, but I won't like it, anybody. So Kingsley, he talking and he says he's disappointed and he was hypocrisy now. I didn't know, like these days you have to walk and look over your shoulder because you never know. That was happening a long time. That was happening a long time. So he ended up now. So I decided that I will call in because, you know why? Mr. John at Prospect was shot in his leg.
By a ghost.
Whatever.
By a ghost.
By a ghost. Let me say the ghost. Nobody. It was alleged, whatever. But this particular lady, more than once I hear Kingsley admiring her. She never did no wrong for him. Like he will say, he loves something. Oh, I mean, so I love with this lady and this and that and that. So I call and I say, it's the same thing Mr. John went through. But you didn't see it wrong at that time. But you're going to say it now because it happened to you. You know, you would have taken it in that light. Or the saying Frank De Silva was saying something that, what Frank was saying to defame me. Frank De Silva, what did they said that you that is that because I could put in a suena. Everybody's suena. Yeah, so we must look out for others. Now Mr. John was shot. At that time it was okay, this, that. You don't know the person went to court, it will happen to them. But now it happened to you is something else. Eh?
The grandmother used to say do something like so.
Yes. No, when is election? We have a date for election?
No, is it?
The man say he ain't know the date yet.
People saying it's November. Some even say the 9th of November, and the lady tell me it's a Thursday. Either the 6th or the 9th. But sometime in November. Abraham?
He didn't give a date as yet.
He didn't give a date as
No, but
yet.
it's before the ending of the year.
Before the ending of the year.
Yes.
So we are ready. And the atmosphere is one that I don't like because it seems like by all means. Okay? That is the slang a guy gave me, by all means. Okay? So we have to pray. We have to watch and hope for non-violence. And I wish that the ULP could preach that to the non-violence path. Now I have a joke to give you. Mr. Cian Marshall calling on a radio station. And you know, he always go back to NDP time and this and that. And here a topic he picked, which is insensitive. He said in NDP time, a lawyer run down a lady by the police station and shoot them. That is a heinous crime. You understand? You know, you remember when this guy...
Yeah, Mark Williams.
Yeah. But how you have all this set of crime in front of you and you're going to talk about one crime? Eh? He was very insensitive. Because now it's 2025, 24, 23, and 22. When you do an aggregate of all the crime, you're nearly getting 200 young people between the age of 18 and 40 die by gunshot.
Sonia.
Aye?
What was he recalled for?
Hello?
What was he recalled for?
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
It was very domestical.
Yes, but I don't know how we could just come NDP. Well, in NDP time, yes, you had things, but not so. Do you not have them blatant murder? If you talk about heinous, what about the girl cut off over Tokyo and then the man hold up the hair in the head and have people traumatized? The little teenager, 16-year-old in a garbage bag. Eh? As little as to school children one and all them things. But hey, you know, there are plenty, but people listen to the program and just feel how overseas, understand what I mean? So when you come to crime, how you can compare crime? You're very insensitive. And I was shocked. Huh? I was really, really shocked.
You shouldn't,
Really
you
shocked.
shouldn't be surprised.
I shouldn't be surprised. And now I want to, just before I go, I hope the PM is not going to grab up a hold of the young people and carry them in the police force like he always does when we are done without training and make them police officer. That is not right.
While you're on that, I heard something this afternoon, and I'm to verify it. They say that how he hand out an olive branch to all police that didn't take the vaccine.
That he hand out an olive branch?
Yes.
We're going to Jerusalem. Huh? Yeah, but Jerusalem for the olive branch.
That's what I heard.
You paying them people, to all the police. They went back for the job? Abraham, those who
A lot of them received letters. I don't know if they reapplied.
If they went back?
No, I will find out.
So what happened, the olive branch and bring them back? Huh?
Well, I couldn't get that confirmed because I tried to see if I get a confirm, and it appears that a lot of people didn't know about it at yet, if it's correct.
So boy, the olive tree big boy. Branches. Anyhow, that's all.
Yeah, okay, all right. But you were saying that all the time that they should reapply and come back for the work, no matter the case. So it's nothing new. Even though if it happened, there was nothing new because you were saying that for a very long time. Pleasure, good night.
Gentlemen, good evening.
Hey, good day.
I just kind of shocked to hear about all this thing with port and money and fix, because I mean, I say to myself all the time that the contractors and them, they're still here. It feels like if they hand over the port, and even though they hand over the port of a project that big, they should have about a year and a half, almost 2 years warranty. With properly fully insured and everything. So even though something wrong, it has nothing to do with the government.
Well, according to Camelo, they're insured, and they will rectify the problem.
Okay.
Yeah, according to him.
I kind of wondering if they went for money to fix it. That's what you're hearing. But I couldn't call Camilo because I'm not going to get him unless I meet him in the street. But that part is insured. I mean, I understand how.
Yeah, he indicated that.
He indicated that.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but when the money went for, is it for part of the port or?
I didn't listen. So, Paul, I might be able to assist you.
Because I was just kind of wondering if it's.
Well, they stated that
Paul, you're giving the information.
The money that was projected for next year, it's already budgeted on the 3-year cycle that they have for the budget. So, based on the work that they were doing, they have used up the money. So they are now applying for the money that is budgeted for next year to be brought forward for now to be utilized with the situation with the port.
Okay. But I hope with this money, I quite hope that they kind of give us a bit more something. Let us know what's going on now. You know, we don't only want to hear that they're coming for monies. I mean, it's in a ULP port. It's a St. Vincent port.
Right.
It's a St. Vincent job. It's a St. Vincent airport. You understand? So let we know what's going on so at least we could follow to see, because before you even pay the contractor, they have to satisfy you with X amount of work if you make a payment next week or week after next. And for every payment you pay, you hold back 10% as a retaining fee, whatever you call it. So don't just come to money and just talk to us one evening. Then we know what's going on over the couple of months, how things going. You know, don't people just send up Joan and to me I figure there's too much API. Because by the time API put out a story, the port didn't put out anything. I mean, even Sandals. API say something about Sandals didn't say nothing yet. So sometimes we're kind of wondering really, you know, is it a government entity? Is it the government have shares? You know, they kind of worry sometimes, you know. Because just API alone going in maybe once or twice a week, They talking thing about it. It's already fixed, but the port PRH are really into nothing as yet. You understand? So I just wanted to kind of tell the taxpayers, give us more idea, give us something better. You know, let me know what's going on instead of just saying like over the years, hearing, oh, we take 40 million from the NIS, oh, we take 20. We just want to hear that. Yeah, give us something better. We have to do better than that. Everything is we paying it, the raising gas, we pay. And I honestly was hoping by now we would have 5,000 coconut plants in the earth. Because if the pool coming to an end, coconut production goes with on Sada Blossom. When Sandals building, people making reservation. People who come in at Sandals tomorrow, Sunday coming, they pay their accommodation 2 years ago. It's business. So coconut should have been in the earth so we could ship something, BVI, Tartola. You could even send some to St. Lucia because they mix in sugar water and add to the thing in Antigua and St. Lucia. So if we build in a port, we need things to ship. You understand? I see something on Facebook where they have Cubans going to train people in the hotel area.
Yeah.
Bring people to train the farmers as well, because if you're going to train workers, then you have to train people now to what to plant, how to plant. You can't have the whole country full of planting. You have to have this side planting, this side yam, that side pumpkin, that side. When the whole country full of one thing, you flood the market. I mean, you're talking about an uneducated man who come out of school 12 years old. I mean, I ain't say that. But we need something. Government borrow millions for the farmers, put it in place, you do a plan. First of all, you get 10 workshops, you do your plan, you can get up to $100,000 to borrow from the money, but you pay it back. I mean, you understand?
Right now, we're talking about agriculture. We had a bumper crop of avocado. We have a bumper crop of breadfruit. We have a bumper crop of mangoes. And it's just going to waste.
Yes, I understand. I've been saying for a long time, and every time I see somebody go say, "Boy, that big more boy there, let's like talk." But I say, "But we have a plane come every Sunday evening for the last so much years. Why something can't go up the thing, all right? We reach in England before tomorrow morning, and sell." And also to get the agriculture people, the minister, minister, you might hear somebody talk as well. Get the people to prune the trees are too high. They get bread for the Japan, the ground $10 straight. When you go on the roast half in good, you go back and tell him next week, you reach all in your mother ready to fight you.
Well, that was implemented when we had the hurricane in 27 around there.
Okay.
Where a lot of those trees got toppled. And I did a lot of pruning.
Okay.
And when those breadfruit started to break again, I remember a lady in Barley. But I remember I told her a story. She cost me all kind of how.
Yeah.
But when the breadfruit started to be, and she saw the size of her produce then.
Yes.
She chased down the transport with me and said, when we stop, you want to hand over 2 big breadfruit, give me $20.
Yes.
I apologize.
Yes. Well, even though she didn't say it in words, by the time she give you that mean boy, sorry, but I didn't quite understand. But that's the point I'm making. Let me get some more training for everybody. You understand? Even that spot up in Gibson Corner where them houses was, the crack up houses. I was saying we can try back some citrus there. Fence it around. Put it under agriculture. Fence it around. Put some citrus. Look, they have nice soil. You like the root and hole. Try something.
Brother.
Yes.
Let me tell you this. I give Cian Marshall a project, right? Combating climate change and fires. In the southern end, we're talking about going from Edinburgh, go right over into Camden Park, where we could have reforested that area and beautify it. And we would be combating the whole thing with food shortage and them sort of thing. It never got anywhere because of probably who it came from.
Well, fair enough. It should use because you have intention. But we just can't jump and say hotel. So what do all them hotels do? Pop up in, bring in their own container all the time. You have to train them. You have to also give them the idea. Let go the hungry farming thing. A man bring 2 pig by you. You sit down by a gate till they come up. We just can't take on them man. When they owe you.
I
you
want
don't really owe you because you don't receive the pig and you get the pig and they buy you, but you don't get them yet.
I will tell you this last thing here.
Cash.
Right? I want you to go to Barley and find out about an area they call Zion Hill and the transformation that has taken place there. You go and find out.
I will try my best to.
And Zion Hill is similar to, because it's on the same area, like Camden Park, Otley Hall, and those sort of areas there. So if that has been successful, why is it that you can't have the same thing happening here?
But we need something, we need something because we need something. Farmers, I mean, most of them over the years, I mean, when I call on the radio, some of them, they call it the cost. But I live Mespo, Riley, I go Evisham School, I go Kenyan School, Belma, went to 9 different schools. So when I talk about an area, I talk about what I know. I could tell you for a fact the rain that come over Vermont almost every day. Start from Maroon Hill, come right over the ridge. I still started building house now with the back going up Pembroke to the bush. And I said, boy, when they start to sell lands now, they think they have to tell them, listen, if you chop down all the bush to build one small house, you won't get no more rain over here. So something needs to be regulated. You understand? But something needs to happen. Somebody needs to give a little bit more advice, talk to the people. Also, again, talk to the people who just believe you could just drop a sack of thing down the road and get paid now for now. They take a month before they give the first payment. So don't cost. If you don't want to do that, then they sell the middleman. They don't want to sell the middleman this stuff, They want to carry this stuff themselves. But they cost it and say, well, me carry thing, me not get any money. But nobody not really pay cash in hand. Even construction workers don't even pay cash in hand. Everything went to your home, they had you carry the swipe. So the training the scam before people to clean the room. And while you're training them how to clean the room, how to keep the phone out the people's business. People clean the room, 2 man in a room, take pictures, send to their friend. Watch ya. 2 man asleep on one bed. They go to hospital to get an AIDS test. If they reach home, you go to the village, they don't get AIDS. Because somebody send information in the village. So it's training for everybody. Just can't say train to make a bed and train to solve. You also have to tell them this long piece of eyelash over the eye, solving the food, the man that catch up in the food, this long fingernail, the strain, and all that wrong in neck, earring, sweet perfume in the bar. So I hope they understand the going on. And I was saying to last on Facebook, piece of Facebook thing. When they train them, when they get a training from Spanish people, could they do the English work? So I will leave it there for now.
All right, thank you. Oh boy. Good evening, Paddy Bamapoya. Keep the fire burning. Thanks for keeping it real. Great program. Have a wonderful weekend. Mr. Abraham, how come when the airport was being constructed, there was a star on the ground and nobody knew how it got there? Now they are building a port and there is a key wall. Where are these symbols coming from? Pleasant good night.
Good night, Abraham.
Hi, good night.
I'm going to train me to send.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Now, you can remember when the airport be breaking?
The part of the road?
Yeah.
Yes.
When I going to town, the vibration going up to the White House. I hear like I say, hello. One disaster they from take place. Abraham, they go down all in my mother. Call me this, call me that. Where NDP do who you one day when me going down now, we take it all Argyle Road. It's not drive fast, cross, the water wet your face up. You know? This evening then got football in Georgetown. You know, sometime when rain make up, the rain a come, the base either look white, a part of white, a part of black. They say, you close down that game day, that a white raining, I say when to come. When I shut your big motel, it's a NDP. Abraham, the rain come down. You know what they say? Papa right, Papa ya profit. Me a profit anytime. I talk about election date and election day. Wait a happy side, tell you one for election. Listen, today is the 8th, which is the big man birthday. You are going to get the date, the ending of this month. The election going to call is 5th and November, I 6th. If the why could change it, you remember when you start spend say the 9th? And he put on to defend it? No. Let me tell you something again. Okay? Them a tell me must change. All you healthy people them are from me money. Come on them program and say Friday now and do this, Friday now and do that. All them thing where them a do they now. NDP handwriting. NDP handwriting. Right? Cars overrun, no. Cars overrun. Anyhow, my Prime Minister, enjoy your 80th birthday. And I hope and trust, right? If they advise, it thing turning back on. You know when people at the I lie a short time. And the people must suffer and die politically. And the people must suffer and die politically. If they were me want to make them to know and me makes money flow in the country because me not run when suffering. Me not run when the volcano start and the thing then start to think me hold me girl, me, oh God, are we dead now? Hey, she hold me tight.
You're not easy.
Yeah?
You're not easy.
Me I tell you, hold me tight. What? You know, make me not go camp, right? I go camp, but I run. But this time, remember part in the Bible tell how he coming like it is in the night, right? So this time now, we don't know if I go get a chance to run and think. More longer man hold it there, and more pressure. But me tell you, and he fail the hospital. Oh God. Remember when Ralph say you start to remind them like converted. When they yam their belly full, they start to ring bell. Jesus is coming. What? Yes. But I send in this message for you. Don't make me tune in with Parliament again. Yesterday, me ran it. Now yesterday, Wednesday, up to this morning, election coming soon, me buy some toilet paper for them, but oh God, me end up use them today as shit also. Excuse me language. Abraham, me not like what you do, me no man. Me not like what you do.
Don't worry, one of these days.
Right?
Yes.
When me tell you something, you know, some people just pretend
yes.
they stay with you When them a travel,
Yes.
one of these nights I go company program with I and play a voice note with me neighbor. Okay,
All
bye.
right, okay. The loan that was brought up in Parliament this week seemed like a political game the ULP played with the NDP, especially with the part for the housing loan. They used that particular part against the NDP, saying that they did not care for Vincent Shannon housing. It seems like this was a trap so that the NDP in a dam. If you do, you damn. If you don't, position, I think they played NDP. Pleasant good night.
I will say two papers. I missed this one. I can't now. The other one is can accidentally inhaling paraquat cause paraquat poisoning? Okay. You can get paraquat poisoning if you swallow, touch, or inhale paraquat. Consuming just 1 teaspoon of paraquat can cause death. The chemical can also cause serious illness or death if it touches your clothing, eyes, or skin. And the other mark is paraquat inhalation toxic. Inhalation exposure known to be associated with fatal pulmonary damage, a result of superoxide radicals and other free radicals created due to the accumulation of paraquat in the lungs. Symptoms of paraquat poisoning include 1. Burns and pain in the throat. 2. Choking. 3. Coma. Lack of responsiveness. 4. Difficulty breathing. 5. Nosebleed. 6. Seizures. 7. Shock. Extremely low blood pressure. 8. Shortness of breath. That's the second paper. Now, out of my mind now, remember, we read sometime. It is said that paraquat is 18 times more toxic than glyphosate. Saying glyphosate with a ban. Touch around up. Paraquat is 18 times more toxic than that. And another thing, paraquat stay 6 years in the earth after usage.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, that's all for now.
Thank
That's
you.
all for tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Good night.
Paul, we just have about 2 minutes, so go ahead.
But even I wanted them to talk about the whole situation because somebody asked me if the letter has left St. Vincent to go to concern the appeal. I said from the last thing that we
I spoke to somebody who should know, and they indicated that they were no, as far as it seemed, because the court hadn't granted the leave
as yet. So, but it's the same thing. Actually, the person say, well, then, if he is promising the people them back their job, why don't he go to Parliament and recall the bill that was put in motion? Revoke it. So I said, I don't think so could happen because he never wanted to accept the blame of anything. And he said that he was doing the work of God. So that is as far as I know.
Because I asked somebody up to, I think it's Thursday, yesterday. And as far as they're concerned, nothing was granted yet after they contacted the lawyer. So the matter is still, quote unquote, before the Court of Appeal because they didn't granted permission to leave to the Privy Council.
So how then we have freedom and democracy and all these sort of things that they are talking about? And they say that we are heading to be a fourth world country within the next 5 to 20 years because of certain standard that we have achieved. Are these organizations really think so? They're using statistics and not the blatant truth, because statistics basically, when you analyze it, most of the time it end up being lies.
I saw an article with Exodus from the office of the director, the DPP office. I was planning to look into that tonight, but maybe next
Time.
week because no, not the time I wasn't there. So trying to save my thing.
So until next week,
Yes.
God willing.
Have a wonderful evening and weekend.
Keeping It Real is an interactive radio program heard only on Nice Radio. Join your host, Joel Abraham, every Friday as we discuss important issues affecting our society from 8 to 10:30 p.m. For persons living outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, you can still listen to us on Nice Radio's website, www.niceradio.info, or you can email us at bdsnice@gmail.com, or simply give us a call at 784-456-5967. Remember, it's Keeping It Real, the interactive talk show program heard each and every Friday, only on Nice Radio.
You're locked on to Nice Radio, 90.3, 96.7, and 101.3 on your FM dial. Keep listening for all your musical favorites. Nice Radio, 2% radio, 98% love. Keep it locked.
Hi, hun. Can you pick up the kids today? I know you're headed to the gym and you have some errands to run, but I just got called into a meeting. Thanks, babe. Oh, you may need to stop for gas, too.
Stop for gas? Since switching to Sol, we have lots left in the tank.
At Sol, we're on a mission to give you great fuel economy for all life's journeys. So enjoy the journey. Choose Sol Go Further fuels.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer-dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of two. No need to change machines, just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top-loading or front-loading, whether you want a 9-kilogram or a larger 15-kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
CK Graves and Company is the number one supermarket. 100% Contention supermarket.